What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows. And today we are going to the Upside Down as the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5 has released. It blew us all away. A lot of things, a lot of theories. We now have to wait till Christmas.
Hamilton.
Yes. We now have to wait till Christmas. And so we're going to kind of talk about, break down the first 4 episodes, maybe talk about what we thought about it and some theories that we might have. And of course, as always, like, subscribe, share, follow hopsgeeknews anywhere you can find your podcast, social media platforms. And then if you have some theories too, man, drop them out there in the reviews, the comments, drop us a line on social media. That's where we're at. We typically go into news and what we've been reading or watching, but today's just straight Stranger Things. So spoilers ahead, just an FYI. I also have a nice pucker sour IPA from Treehouse Brewing because it had like lightning bolts around a tree and it felt very upside downy and everything. And I don't know, just felt the aesthetic. And I have a Turbo Man shirt, so you know who wouldn't get beat by Vecna? Turbo Man. So I rest my case, Your Honor. Lauren, what do you got over there before we kind of dive in?
So I have this beer from Kent Falls with the little shrugging guy.
That beer was really good. Yeah.
So who sent this one? Pat?
No, Stacy.
Stacy sent this one. Awesome. I haven't tried it yet. I just poured
Lauren wasn't with Pat, me, and DT when we all drank it together one night.
I think I saw that after the fact.
So yeah. Whatever, loser. Drink by yourself.
But I grabbed this one because I kind of feel like this is how most of the people in Hawkins, Indiana feel right now. They're just kind of like, whatever. We're
this
stuck
town
here.
is surprisingly chill. Speaking of like old Ted has a baddie for a wife and is so indifferent to anything. And he's over here complaining as we go into episode 1, excuse me. It's the crawl. So as we're opening up, life is kind of normal at Hawkins. You know, old Teddy boy there is complaining because he's like, why, how much longer do Joyce and Will and Jonathan have to live at our house?
He's been a grump since season 1.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's very much an 80s dad, doesn't know where his kids are, doesn't care. Doesn't care about his wife either, who's an absolute badass, and we'll get to that. But, hilarious. Will, Jonathan, and Joyce are all living there at their house, at Will's house, right? And it takes place, their time has passed. The military is essentially, when we left off season 4, there was a rift in the middle of Hawkins, ripped open by Vecna. That has just metal plates down the middle of it. Anybody complaining how any of this could happen has not seen the military in action, And so that's very much like cities anyways love to just throw down those metal boards over their potholes, especially. I don't know if it's just a New England thing even, but kind of funny how that works. So yeah, that's very on brand for the whole thing. We then see, Elle is out there training. She's trying to get faster. She wants to beat 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Hopper and Joyce are there timing her. And we got Rockin' Robin and Steve are up there and they're doing their own radio broadcasting. We got Dustin, who is still reeling from Eddie Munson's death, as we all probably are. And the dude is rocking the mullet hardcore. He's got the long trench coat. He's got the Hellfire
He looks like a hot mess.
He's not doing so hot. Yeah.
No. And I feel like everybody's judging him for still grieving. It's like, let him grieve.
I very much agree with that. Will's back, of course. So, but like Mike is kind of indifferent. Lucas, they all kind of meet up as, I think his name's Derek, that bully who
Delightful Derek?
No, that's not Derek. Never mind. You're right. Delightful Derek. I was thinking of that badass that we're going to meet in a little while, but the jock, I forget his name, whatever the hell his name is. Okay. The one who was like losing.
And he like rips his Hellfire shirt.
Yeah, they kind of like beat him up a little bit. And that's when everybody kind of shows up and it's like, hey, leave him alone.
I like when Lucas walked up and because Lucas has gotten bigger, like he's taller. Like it's so
Lucas
funny because all these kids were this, similar heights when they first started. And then they've all grown and they're all grown up.
They're all older now. But, for the most part, they look relatively reasonable. I'll say that
we've seen older people play high school kids before, so it's not absolutely insane by any means.
Come on, man. Welcome to like the 90s. But yeah, so the first episode kind of takes us there, and then they realize that there's going to be a supply drop that night into the Upside Down where the military has set up. I love
how they do that, where Robin like starts talking and she says certain code words and they all know.
I do love that.
On it with fun fact.
It's also really smart too, the way they set that whole thing up. The way she's so badass. I love her. She was probably my favorite character in this first part of the season. She's coding out there. Poor Steve's over there behind the scenes trying to like switch everything and do the laugh tracks. But they're doing a crawl that night, and so we got Natalie Dyer's character Nancy and Jonathan show up. They're kind of have a rift between them. The military set up staging ground in the middle of Hawkins. They have a portal to the Upside Down, and they're going to run a supply truck to their facility in the Upside Down, and that's when Hopper is the goal is to.
Why is Murray allowed in and out?
It is funny. They don't know anything about Murray, but Murray apparently is their supply run guy, bringing supplies in and out of Hawkins. That was interesting.
Like they're worried about all the people that live there being contaminated, but he's allowed to come and go as he wants without a hazmat suit or anything.
They never show him having to go through checkpoints.
They know the first time he came in, he did, and he like hands them something, and they're like, "Oh, okay." Right. But yeah, so it's like, why was that okay? I don't get it.
Yeah, if they are worried about quarantine,
it's like prolonged exposure. I
think it might be something like, I don't know. Yeah, because he's bringing them grenades and everything.
In 20 years, there's going to be a class action lawsuit because they're all.
If you were part of the Hawkins massacre, you might be entitled to compensation.
Or if you lived in Hawkins, Indiana in the 80s.
Did you grow up in Hawkins, Indiana in the 1980s, specifically 1987?
By being ripped apart by Demogorgons?
Did a weird flower-headed demon come out there and rip your family apart? You might be entitled to compensation. Sorry, unfortunately, though, home insurance does not cover pairs into alternate dimensions.
Yeah, that's a separate policy, like flood insurance. So
unfortunately, you're not covered because you didn't get the Demogorgon insurance.
Where's Mr. Incredible when you need him? But this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go down here and da-da-da. I'm sorry, ma'am. The Demogorgon damage is not covered. So let's talk about that though, because I thought that was a really cool scene with Karen Wheeler. Like you see, like she's struggling, and you know what? She really is an unsung hero because throughout all of these seasons, she really does try to be a good mom. They never wrap her in. She tries not to be like overbearing, but she is protective. Like she puts up with her ridiculous husband, who I do think is
does
hilarious.
not.
If I was married to him, I wouldn't think he was hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, he's awful. Yeah,
he is awful. That's why she almost slept with Billy.
Yeah, yeah.
But these 4 episodes were all like Mama Bear, like her and Joyce. Face to face with Demogorgons, face to face with Vecna, with Joyce. So I loved seeing that. But Karen, I really feel like she finally got like her time to shine. And of course, it was very quick. I'm hoping she recovers and we see more of her because I thought that she was badass, man. She was badass.
I'm very interested. I don't know that we will, but speaking of that scene, so Holly, the youngest daughter, who I'm just watching, my son's obviously watching Stranger Things now, and she was like an infant in season 1, and now she's supposedly 7, but she doesn't look 7, whatever. I don't care. Ultimately, I don't give a crap, right? It's a TV show.
I looked it up. She's like, she's my age. I'm like, of course she is, because you were a toddler when the show started.
I know. Like, I can suspend my, you draw the line at age.
Really leaning on those pigtails as hard as they can.
But anyway, the Demogorgons come after her because she has this imaginary friend, Mr. What's-It. And Mr. What's-It
is not the first time she's seen a Demogorgon.
Exactly. And so Demogorgon rips into her room, comes after her. She gets thrown across the room. And surprisingly, shout out to her, she also holds her own because she gets away from that freak and runs into mom, who had just had a fight with dad because the dad doesn't even know. He's like, you don't even know how old your daughter is, and that that whole thing.
I thought that was kind of a joke though for us too, as to how
I think it was like
So I feel like that they're showcasing how grumpy and unattached the dad is, but I feel like that was for us more so. I
do too. I really do, and it was just so great because then the Demogorgon pops in and old Nancy Wheeler is about to take a wine-infested bath. And next thing you know, she breaks that. She smashes that bottle. She's fresh out the bath. She got clothes on. They escape. And she's slashing and stabbing away at that thing.
She can do that with a bottle. What can she do with like that sword Hopper had at the end of last season?
Could you imagine her and Joyce teaming up with like a flamethrower, just flaming down Demogorgons? That would be badass.
There's your finale.
Unfortunately, though, her throat got slashed and she can't talk.
Well, she can still burn those mother effers.
You know what? They can force heal. I'm just going to call it now. Maybe Elle uses powers of sorts, or Will uses powers because he's got powers. What if they heal her? And then she does get to have her opportunity and go out there and do some badass things. I want that to happen. Okay. She needs to, because Ted should have died. The dad's not dead, but he kind of should have died. Like, come on, let's be real.
I did like, though, the dad, when the Demogorgon was attacking the dad, the mom's just like, let me get to Holly and get the hell out of here. And like, she did use that and she didn't look concerned for the husband. She's like, I got to save my kid.
She's like, oh,
any mother
life insurance policy.
I'm sorry, if your kids are in danger, like, you
to be honest,
another don't matter anymore. Like,
I would do the same. Like, I would expect Carrie to get the kids and get out while I'm getting my ass beat by a Demogorgon. Yeah, because if I die saving, like getting them to safety, then I'd rather them live. Any parent would do the same.
I saw an interview with Ryan Reynolds years ago. It was like right after he had a kid, and he described it perfectly. As like, I love my wife more than anything in the world, but the second she had that baby, if we were getting shot at, I'd use her body as a shield.
Yeah, like, I remember seeing that too. But it's true. 100%. And it was a really, really great entrance, and they really did use their time wisely. Like, we saw a lot. And one thing I really enjoy too is everybody's kind of connecting. I didn't like that Mike and Elle had like a quick scene together. That really felt kind of whatever. It seems Jonathan's going to be trying to propose to Nancy to kind of save their relationship.
Not the time.
There's that like between Steve and Jonathan.
But they're not even being subtle.
I do think Steve is going to die, though. Like, I didn't think that they were going to go that route, but the rift that him and Dustin have between each other, you know, they clearly are not in speaking terms very well. Dustin's in his feelings, deservedly so. Steve's the only reasonable one in the whole group who's like, hey, you know, we're all sad. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but we don't have time to like, you know, more. We got to go like save the world. And then we can just take that breath once we're done and just really think and soak everything in. And then Jonathan and him have that, you know, man-to-man beef going on over Nancy. So I almost feel like they're setting up Steve to die just because of his arcs with Jonathan and Dustin. Like he's going to sacrifice himself so Jonathan and Nancy can be together. And Steve and Dustin will make up.
And he'll apologize to Dustin, and then Dustin.
It does feel too cliche, but that's kind of how it feels like they're setting it up, though, right?
I hope they don't for that reason, and a lot of people are predicting that. And I feel like because so many people think Steve's going to die, I'm hoping that they like. I feel like they have to know that.
What if Dustin's the one that bites the dust?
That would suck.
That would be sad, but because what if he's the one who sacrifices himself for Steve? You know, hey, I'm sorry, and then he goes out like Eddie died, and
and then it ends with Steve having a kid and naming him Dustin.
Because like, hold on though, because what if he's
RV?
He's like, I couldn't save Eddie, but I can save Steve, and that's how Dustin's arc comes full circle. That would be I would be sad, but I would be cool.
I hope Susie can visit first, so the poor kid doesn't.
Go I wonder is Susie still around? Like, I kind of wonder what happened to her.
Hopefully, we see her again. Argyle didn't get mentioned. Argyle should have gotten at least throwaway line, like something.
The dude got them there. The dude is very responsible.
And he must have dipped out before they instituted the quarantine. Or maybe he just kept picking mushrooms outside Hopper's cabin and got lost in the woods.
Yeah, he's on drugs. He's
to this day, he's still out picking mushrooms.
Upside down, man.
Whoa, did that dude have a flower for a head?
It is, yeah, God. What do you think about the wall? So in the crawl episode, Elle and Hopper, I do like that they're bonding. They're doing a lot of bonding, and they're very similar at the same time as Hopper, very much to his dismay. He goes in there, he gets in the firefight because the Demogorgon attacks the truck. He ends up getting some ricochet into him. He gets lost out there. Elle, after they find, you know, Mrs. Wheeler, Karen Wheeler on the floor half dead, Nancy stays. Elle jumps through the hole before it closes. Now Elle's in the upside. She ends up meeting up with Hopper.
I like that. I like that they met up immediately. And I like that they resolved their BS. I'm like, we don't need another season of this. Like, I'm just trying to protect you. Well, you have to let me do what I want to do. But I did like when he told Joyce, he's like, yeah, she did hit the time correctly. But I like that he was honest with her about his daughter. And yeah, sometimes you just got to be honest. Like, don't just explain it.
That's a big thing too, is they resolved that stuff, right? Now they're bonding, and they have their characters growing together in a different way now.
Do you think, okay, so Brielle says I'm wrong, but when Hopper was going down into the upside down for the crawl and Joyce had asked him a question, I don't remember what it was, and he goes, well, you didn't answer my question. I was like, did he pop the question? And Brielle's like, no, she just asked him something. And I was like, I don't know. I wonder if he popped the question. No,
she did just ask him something. Or because he asked her.
Like maybe that had happened off screen, because they're obviously doing well. Their relationship seems strong, which is good, because I
do hope they end up married. I think it'd be really a disservice to Hopper's character arc if he ends up dying at this point, because he got lost. He's the one that's out there. He almost like in episode 4. I know we're jumping ahead, but he was about, or was it 3? It was one. I think it was 4. And he had the dynamite strapped to his chest, about to blow himself up. And then
I think he realized what it was going to do to Elle.
Well, no, he found 8.
Oh, but
that's why he was going to blow up Vecna, but because he thought Vecna was in there, so he was going to blow them up.
Okay.
And then that's why.
So the peeing on the wall. She kept saying he peed on the wall. He knows something about the wall that we don't know. And Hopper's like, why are just ignore the fact that he peed on the wall. But Elle makes a good point. Obviously, she wouldn't be making that point if it wasn't going to be relevant later. So it's like, there's got to be something to that. Like you know what I'm talking about? When that guy peed on the wall?
Yeah. So they crash into the wall, and then that's when the military comes after them. They're hiding. There's this weird flesh wall. Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
And so they end up taking those guys out and take the lead guy hostage. And I like that situation because the two of them, I really like what Hopper does. He goes, you're not just a grunt. I was a grunt in Vietnam, and kind of like looks at him, and I was like, you special forces punks. Yeah.
Oh, and I think that was the guy I saw. He actually plays Brenner in the play.
Okay.
Shadow. Yeah, and did you see
Interesting.
the teacher that's, like, with all the kids on the base? She was the Duffer Boys
Yeah, he
drama
was the
teacher?
Duffer Brothers, yeah, their drama
That's
teacher, which I thought
so
was really cool. The
yes,
way to
I
like
love that.
weave them into it or her into it. And I like that Elle goes inside his mind and is digging around and whatnot, and he doesn't end up dying. So I am curious
And then he gets away.
because as we find out, the wall is in it's all around this certain part of Hawkins, which they're finding out because when Dustin, I love this sequence, right?
When he did the math.
When now setting up delightful Derek, dipshit Derek at first, it's the heavyset bully kid because Will realizes that he's kind of like and this is Robin is fantastic. This is Joyce was very afraid to let Will do anything, and rightfully so. And so Robin tricks her with the flux capacitor.
That was
and
hilarious.
her and Will go out and she goes, no, that red light's always on. Like
I like that even Jonathan and Steve bonded in that moment when they looked at each other like, capacitor.
Yeah, right? They even had like a what the hell? Because the whole time Dustin's just trashing on Steve for not being as smart technologically. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like Steve's out here. Steve has been the GOAT, okay? He gets the chainsaw. Like, oh, jumping ahead. All right, so they go out. They end up using Will's spidey senses that he figures out that he kind of has when he sees the spinning of the merry-go-round and realizes that he's seeing through Vecna who his victims are. And now Delightful Derek is next. And so they meet up with Erica while she's in her favorite class learning about wormholes, which I bet you we're going to do some time traveling, I'm sure. And she's the best. I would love to see her and Pennywise talk crap to each other. That would be the greatest thing on earth. Like those two just going at it.
Because Pennywise would have no control over her. She wouldn't.
Pennywise would be like, damn, all right, chill. Like, damn. But she agrees. So she bakes this pie, makes up with Erica, or Erica makes it with her friend Tina. And turns out it's a hilarious moment where, the two parents eat the pie. It's drugged. Tina won't eat it. Derek had like 2 pieces or 4 pieces.
But because he's so big, he's not out long. Girl's like, why did he wake up before the parents? I'm like, they're making fun of his weight. And she's like,
yeah.
Oh.
And the parents pass out. And Tina's like, what'd you do? And she goes, I told you to eat the damn pie.
And then she screams bloody murder. How are they going to fix that later? They freaking destroyed. And why? They couldn't have moved those wine shelves out of the way.
So Carrie and I were having the same thought. Our first thought when they were cutting through the floor. So Steve, their plan is to trap the Demogorgons. It was Home Alone. It was awesome.
Barbed wire, yeah.
But yeah, the dad has an epic wine cellar that gets destroyed, and I go, this upsets me more than a kid getting kidnapped. I was like,
because it was so preventable. They could have just pushed the freaking just been very careful, try to push them, or just cut the floor a little.
It's not their house. They don't care. I would have took some of that wine for when this is all said and done to celebrate maybe, or like have a nice drink.
Over that.
Yeah. So they set up the booby trap, the nails, the water balloons with the acetone and oh God. Yeah. Well, this is just over across the floor. We're not even breaking it down episode by episode at this point. This is just across the series, I guess. And
yeah,
I do like that when the Demogorgon comes, he's getting his ass beat and ultimately ends up fleeing. And they have that radar on top of Steve's beamer, which was on the van. And that's how they kind of track the radio signals and the decibels, which I thought was really clever to do in the Upside Down. And Steve gets really smart though, because the Demogorgon escapes to a silo and he's like, I can make it. It's soft. He thinks of it like the the gobber or whatever, which is the smartest thing Steve has done. And they get into the Upside Down and then they end up finding the wall, but it's in a completely opposite part of the town.
Why is he not paying attention? He crashes into the wall because he's not paying attention. Like, you're in the Upside Down. You have no idea what's there. Why are you not paying attention to the road?
Well, it's dark. They probably didn't. I don't know how you didn't see the wall, but
he was looking at everybody else. He wasn't looking at the road. That's how he ran into
the last show to introduce a wall ended very poorly for me. So I really hope
lighting.
Yeah, exactly. Another dark area with bad lighting and a wall. So I really hope Vecna just doesn't decide to become the Mad King or Elle or whomever, or will become the Mad King. But let's talk about Vecna's entrance. He's got his WWE, his music hits. The crowd's popped. What? I guess we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We should probably talk about how
I don't even remember the order of the events that occurred.
Well, so they end up, Derek wakes up. The whole thing kind of happens with the Demogorgon going them because they kidnapped the family.
When they had to put the thing over his face so that Vecna wouldn't see where he was.
He woke up and took it off. And that's why the Demogorgon then finds him and Will's like, it doesn't matter. He strokes out. And then Derek's like talking mad crap. He's on top and he's like, suck a fat one. And Robin's like, what?
You just stick a mouth on this kid.
And then the Demogorgon breaks in and Derek's like, oh my God. But they all escape. Who helped the family who's still tied up and blindfolded? They're still there blindfolded, or did they just like untie them and leave while they're knocked out?
Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't matter if they had the thing on their face because Vecna's not inside their brains.
Right. But they just kind of and then
And then they finally make it home. Their kid's missing. Their house is trashed. Their wine
they go
cellar's
to
no
have
more.
a glass of wine and their wine cellar's destroyed. And,
it's going to be all Erica's fault.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you're never repairing that friendship. That's for sure. Yeah. Or maybe, who knows? Who cares at that point, right? The world.
We end with Erica tunneling out of Shawshank because she got arrested for all this.
She's out there with old Hank from Welcome to Derry. They're tunneling out together. And, but, Derek gets involved because the kids from Hawkins are now being taken to the military base at Hawkins. And they're all in there and they concoct a plan. Derek goes, he's like, my class is missing. And so he ends up in there and creates his own cult out of nowhere. He's got this cult of kids who have seen Mr. What's-It, and he's bonking them on the head as apparently there's tunnels.
Whacks them.
Yeah, he really does.
It's like Krampus, like whacking him with a switch.
How many tunnels are under Hawkins? Because apparently there's tunnels to like the radio station or like all throughout.
Well, it seemed like they created those tunnals. So, yeah. I mean, they've been there for a year trapped there. So I feel like that's when they started doing that. Well, and some of the tunnels there from, was it season 2? Remember they had Bob help them map out the tunnels? So
I think there was
tunnels from those tunnels.
They did.
Or those are just tunnels that were already there.
Yeah. And either way, Derek's got his cult. They tunnel out through the bathroom floor. Things go wrong. Demogorgons show up and Vecna's music hits. He slow rolls out of, it's John Cena. Boop, 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 boop.
I like that all the kids were protecting the younger kids. It's like they've grown up doing this, and they're, it was always
Lucas was down there by himself about to die as getting.
And you saw Mike do that at one point too. Yeah.
I wish we got more of Mike. It's good to see Mike step up into that leader role again, almost, because I feel like he became too comedic relief over the last couple seasons. And so kind of seeing him back to that serious type, his moment with Holly, for example, when he kind of gives her that,
Holly.
And the D&D thing. And, aside from that we'll get to this in a minute, but where Holly's at, but Vecna's music hits, he comes out, he's wrecking. We get one of the most brutal deaths where he I am Groot's his arm right through that guy's face. Joyce stands up. You're not taking Will. And he just casually tosses her aside. He kept her alive. Very interesting.
Maybe because he thinks Will's is easier to manipulate if his mother's alive. Like it might break him if he lost his mom.
He does talk.
It seems like emotions and memories work well as far as power and whatnot.
Agreed. Yeah, because he picks Will up and he talks shit and he's like, I take kids because y'all are weak-minded children and feeble and all of that stuff. And then Will's
said you don't belong here. You belong in my world.
Yeah. So because at the very beginning of this season,
I think he's taking Outcast.
He does Alien on them where he hooks a tube up to their mouth. And that's where all these kids that he's taken, he's getting 12 of them in total. So he's probably
and we saw that happen to Will in season 1. I feel like when they found him, they pulled the thing out of him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So he's giving them powers because Will ends up having powers. He rips the Demogorgons to shreds. And now he has powers. And so it's him, 8, and L all will be together having power. And it is interesting, what is Vecna's plan? Because we see that Holly gets taken by Mr. What's-It or Henry to this nice fancy house within a memory. Henry leaves to go kidnap more kids. And then Holly, gets
by Matt.
Gets a Matt. Yeah,
and they find Matt. Vecna is scared to go into that little area in the wall.
So the cave, I think, is where Vecna first got transported to Dimension X. It's the running theory I'm seeing, is that Vecna, because apparently at some point Henry. So the play. Let's talk about the play, I guess, for a second. There was something.
Remember the play
with Oklahoma, the play.
Yeah,
I guess Henry.
all of First Shadow. So I saw it a year and a half ago. I barely remember it, but it was really good. I remember that. But all of the characters are parents of the kids. Munson is in there, and
right,
and Mike's parents, and you just hear all these last names, and you're like, oh, Hopper and Joyce are in it. Bob's in it.
But I guess my big question. So it takes place 959 Hawkins, Indiana. It follows young
Joyce on the play.
Jim, Bob, as they encounter the new student Henry Creel in the darkness he brings. So
he had a girlfriend, and I remember they did sing because people were calling it a musical, but it's not really a musical, but they did sing together, or she sang.
So the plot of this, kind of, chapter 1, the Creel family consisting of Victor, his wife Virginia, and their children, older son Henry, younger daughter Alice, moved to Hawkins. Henry's tormented, mentally disturbed, in possession of remarkable psychokinetic powers. Henry struggles to make friends upon joining Hawkins High. He quickly forms a connection with Patty Newby, daughter of the school principal. Patty convinces Henry that his powers are not evil, that he should be able to control them and use them for good. That's when Henry creates a vision for Patty where she can express herself through song while being supported by everybody around her. They then form a romantic bond and eventually kiss. Meanwhile, Joyce attempts to put on a school production of Oklahoma. So while at the attic alone, Henry is overcome by the influence of a shadowy presence. His mind enters what he calls the battlefield. Love is a battle, where he proceeds to kill several animals, including Claudia, Yount's cat. Henry is haunted by visions of a humanoid monster that we kind of to figure out as, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's kind of like that symbol. He's terrified that he's going to be made to kill Patty. Following this, Patty's adopted brother Bob teams up with Joyce and her friend Hopper to investigate the animal killings. Patty convinces Henry to use his powers to track down her biological mother. As he does this inside the void, he loses control. He gets visited by the monster, frightening Patty. And when her father walks in and witnesses the scene, he's attacked and almost killed by Henry, which is controlled by the presence. Patty is able to encourage Henry to fight back, telling them that she believes he's good. She loves him. Henry responds that he loves her too. Ends the situation.
But still good in him.
Patty's father's blindsided and seriously injured. He's sent to the hospital. Henry's mother, Virginia, sends Henry to Dr. Martin Brenner. It's revealed that she was supplied with drugs by Brenner under the influence of these drugs. Virginia told Brenner everything about her son. And then when Mr. Newby, Patty's dad, wakes up, he tells Patty that Henry saved him from the monster. He draws a picture, and it's the Mind Flayer. So it comes out it's going to be the Mind Flayer. Now, Brenner takes Henry to Hawkins' laboratory. The two discuss the past. They talk about Brenner's father, who was a captain and sole survivor of the USS Eldridge experiment, who returned to the normal world with significant injuries and a unique blood type. Elder Brenner later revealed the truth about these events on his deathbed and established the Nevada experiment as an attempt to reproduce what happened to the Eldridge.
They called it the Philadelphia Project. That was the first thing on the screen.
Yes. Now, at this is when one of Brenner's fellow scientists defected and stole the key technology and transported it to a Nevada cave. Now, a very young Henry and the Creels live nearby in Rachel, Nevada at this time. And while exploring Nevadan caves and playing with a spyglass, Henry stumbles upon this technology. It activates and transports him and the scientists to Dimension X.
So that's why season 4 was in Nevada?
I think so. That's the same place. Now, while in Dimension X, Henry gets exposed to the influence of the shadowy entity, and through Henry returned home after 12 hours. He now possesses this unique blood type and has a changed personality, which Brenner was able to later track down Henry thanks to Henry dropping his spyglass in the cave. Henry uses a sensory deprivation chamber, shows Brenner the humanoid creature through the void. Brenner sees the creature on the screen. Henry convulses. Brenner then tries to force Henry to kill a prisoner, but Henry breaks down and ends up stabbing 2 guards. After this, Henry tells Brenner that he can let him go. Brenner understands that the boy is devoted to someone and therefore he cannot kill. Later, Brenner realizes that this person is Patty, and then he vows to find and kill her. Henry returns home. His family's not happy. He uses his powers, reads his mom's thoughts. She wants to send him back. Henry then gives in to the entity's influence. He kills Virginia and Alice before falling unconscious. And Victor
now we're up to the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And now,
because he even says that, like, I could tell that my mom wanted to send me back. Like, although he was mad the mom wanted to get him help.
Yeah. And then, and Patty ends up leaving because Henry ends up throwing Patty off the rafters. Brenner takes Henry back to Hawkins. Patty gets taken to the hospital. Victor Creel is accused of murdering Virginia and Alice. And then in 1963, Joyce and Jim bid farewell to each other as he gets shipped off to Vietnam. And so that's when Henry, using the void, discovers Patty survived. It was discharged, walking with a cane and all that. He observes her in Las Vegas and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the
And that was on what, Wikipedia?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, that was all Wikipedia. You can read the plot. That's what I just did. But that breaks down essentially what happens in the play and how it's going to play in. So I think he's afraid of the cave because that's when he was transported and first gave
and the play is canon.
Mind Flayer.
Yes. They flat out said that. It was worked on with the people who work on the show. It is 100% canon unless they decide to pull a Marvel and change it or something.
Which I doubt. I wonder what they do. I hope they don't do time travel. But Max
especially because now that the play is touring the States, I feel like if it's canon, more people are going to want to see it, especially right now.
Oh yeah, they're going to make so much money. I agree. I would like to see it too, but it is interesting because Max. It turns out that Max was hiding there. It's a memory where she first arrived. She was trying to figure out. She heard Lucas playing running up that hill. She saw a way out, and as she was about to go, that's when the tape stopped. She lost her way out. Henry shows up.
They had digital media.
No shit. Henry shows up. She runs away, finds herself in the cave. He's too afraid to go in there, so she knows he's afraid of it for some reason. Which
How long is running up that hill gonna work, though? I mean, eventually you got to get sick of it. It's like the song that never ends.
She's got ADHD. She can listen to the same song over and over, apparently. Okay. So I that's my thoughts. I hope they don't like go back and I guess time travel to make it like, oh, Henry never turns bad. I hope that's that. I hope we don't.
No time traveling allowed, and no love will fix everything. Like nobody can better hug Vecna and have him turn back into Henry. I will blow my brains out of that.
Yeah, I don't want none of that trash. Okay, please save us. No.
And what's the other trope I don't want? I mean, obviously they're not going to do the love thing, but they don't try to talk reason into anybody. I'm so
Henry's
over
too
that
far
crap.
gone, man.
I think
Kill his ass.
Thunderbolts just like really upset me with the fact that they did that, and I had so much higher expectations.
Love doesn't save everything, okay?
It just saves on it, guys. That's it. That's the only time it made sense.
Sometimes you just gotta throw down. And you gotta kill. All right. And Vecna's out. He walked off. He got on that Marvel diet real well too. You know. Like he slimmed down. He's Groot. He's Emotep. He's looking like Groot. A baddie. And
so do you think this will end though in one of those like at the end like Will coughs up another slug or something from the Upside Down, or maybe like Henry takes over Will's body? Like, do you think it will end with like it's over and we get a happy ending? But not.
I think it's gonna end with it's over and we're gonna get some sort of a happy ending with there's apparently 4 major deaths that are supposed to happen.
Later. 4 major deaths. Maybe one of them will be Mr. Wheeler.
He's not. Well, we can only be so blessed because Karen's a baddie. But I think Steve or Dustin. It's going to be Steve or Dustin that died.
Oh, maybe Nancy and Jonathan then are like raising Holly. I think Karen died.
I think Nancy and Jonathan end up happily ever after. Will's gonna, he's now comfortable with who he is. I hope Robin gets a happy ending. I hope Mike and Elle get a happy ending too. And I hope
if Robin doesn't make it to that date, she's not going to get a happy ending. She blew her off the second night.
Her and Will are going to go live in Los Angeles where they can.
I don't remember her name is.
Be free. Oh, I forgot her name too, to be honest with you. But
the Candy Striper.
She did. So I hope it ends on a happy note with no unless. Just like let's just end it. Just end it. No spinoffs. We don't need all.
I don't know what I would be happy with. I don't know what kind of ending I would be happy with. I was very happy with the first 4 episodes, and Brielle was like, "Those were so good. I'm okay waiting until Christmas." Like she had such a healthy attitude about it. I wanted it immediately.
I'm not. I said, "Let's run that ish." Like, come on, man.
But she's like, "I'd rather wait and have them do it right." And I was like, "I get her because you know what? If we had waited, we could have gotten a better ending for Supernatural."
They are doing the finale in theaters, but I don't want to go out on New Year's Eve.
I asked her, she said no, although she hasn't put together yet. We're not even going to be here. I forgot. We bought tickets to fly up to New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that too. I was like, where are you going?
I even asked her yesterday, do you want to see this in theater? She said, no, I'd rather be on my couch.
Carrie has to work
on someone's couch.
Yeah, Carrie has to work New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So, I mean.
And you watch it with her?
Oh, when she gets home, we're going to watch that last episode and then she can go to bed after. You better get home at like 8:00 and then we're going to watch it and then you go to sleep. Granted, I'm not the one working 13-hour shifts, so it's easy for me to say. No, I do. I really hope that we get a happy ending. I really enjoyed this first 4 episodes. I thought it's good to see. I was getting so fed up with Will that I'm glad that he has powers and I'm glad that he's kind of finding himself now.
That was fun too. I
cannot do any more Will touching the back of his neck. Like I can't do that anymore, man. So thank God.
I love though how he did the one hand and the other hand, and then he looked up to like save Robin. I love that.
That's what medical vocalists look like as well on stage when they're about to throw down a wall of death. Fun fact.
What? But okay. So Sarah O'Connor. Let's talk about her for a second before we wrap up.
She's only 69 years old. She's looking rough.
You know what? She looks like she hasn't had work done. Good for her, because she still looks like
you know
a
what?
baddie.
You're right. I'm sorry. I feel
69 years old. She's almost 70.
You're right. She looks
like she's in shape, just like you would expect her to be.
She's still a muscular badass.
Yeah. So I feel like she might be one of these. I'm doing what I think is best, and I'm just trying to protect everybody. But if she had all the information, she might be acting differently. Do you think she will flip upside down?
I think she dies for sure. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna flip. I think she's gonna die giving herself one of those sacrificial deaths where she doesn't really flip, but she thinks she's more badass than she is, and she ends up dying.
She'll get burned alive holding a fence? Because that'd be kind of cool.
I think the Terminators are actually gonna show up and end her finally, but then realize, wait, wrong movie. But
future.
She's definitely gonna die. I hope she doesn't get redeemed, because not everybody needs to get redeemed, in my opinion. Okay, I don't want redemption arcs. Some people are just bad. Let them stay bad and kill them. I don't know why I'm so bloodthirsty, but yeah, that's what I hope. I hope she doesn't turn good. I hope the other guy dies too. You know what? They all deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
What is that from?
I don't know. I think it was Sam Jackson, or it was from like Chappelle Show. I think it was a long time ago.
Probably.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Oh, might be the one with the blind
Oh yeah, oh,
KKK dude. Oh my god, that one's geniusly hilarious. There's nothing I hope happens. There's nothing I hope doesn't happen. I have no theories. I'm really just like, just make it good. Surprise me and make it good.
Same. Don't do some crappy redeemable time travel bull crap. Make
a lot of people are comparing it to Supernatural with a lot of this stuff. They're saying, well, they've been saying the nosebleed thing forever. They're saying like Will is like Sam in the regards of like he was fed stuff by Vecna to give him powers, and now his nose is bleeding when he uses those powers. They're comparing Mike and Will to Dean and Cass, because Cass was in love with Dean and Will is in love with Mike. What's some of the other ones? Oh, they were saying
interesting.
Sarah O'Connor is like what did I see it on TikTok? Is like the FBI guy that was a dick until he wasn't and knew the truth.
Oh,
this is gonna drive me nuts.
I'm the worst.
He's in the Just Bello episode, just hunting him for a while. Henriksen.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then they're comparing Azazel to Vecna trying to create an army. So these are I've been getting a lot of Stranger Things stuff on my reels, which of course I still always get Supernatural. So now I'm getting them tangled, and I love it.
Well, I guess it'd be fun to kind of take a look and do like a comparison look at once it's all said and done. Then I guess I'll have to look into some of that stuff because I haven't heard anything.
Hope it ends better than Supernatural.
God, yeah, I hope so. That's what we have for the first 4 episodes. The next couple, there's 2 episodes that drop on Christmas. They're long movie feature length, and then New Year's Eve is the big finale. Yeah, New Year's Eve is the finale. This is it. That's it. We're down to the last 3.
Let us know your time yet. I hope it's
8.
We'll find out.
I'm old.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, and let us know your thoughts, theories, all of that good stuff, and make sure to find us everywhere on social media, all that good stuff. Next week, we are dropping our Santa Claus 2 episode with Kat, our friend Kat. She's the best. She's going to be joining us. She's with us over at Nerd Initiative. So check out all of her stuff as well. Go to the links in our, the bio, everything. Find her comic book reviews. Find us at nerdinitiative.com as well. And then, we'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully in the right side up.